Hey everyone, welcome. Today we are going to unpack something that seriously touches almost every single part of your adult life, your credit. Now, I know if that word makes you feel a little tense, you are definitely not alone. But let's reframe it. Don't think of it as some scary test. Think of it as your unique financial fingerprint, something you actually have complete control over.
So, let's kick things off with a little thought experiment. Just imagine a friend comes up to you and asks to borrow 20 bucks. What's going through your head before you say yes? You're probably thinking, do they usually pay people back? Are they reliable? You're doing this super fast subconscious trust calculation. Well, guess what? That is exactly what banks and lenders are doing, just with a whole lot more math.
And that, my friends, is all a credit score really is. Let's get this straight right now. It is not a grade on you as a person. It's just a trust metric. It's their standard way of answering one simple question. How likely is this person to pay back the money they borrow? That's all there is to it.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about your financial fingerprint. Then, we're going to dissect the anatomy of a score to see what's really in the mix. After that, we'll figure out the true cost of credit in actual dollars, explore the surprising ripple effect it has, and finally, we'll build your very own strategic credit roadmap so you can take the wheel. Let's dive in.
All right, let's pop the hood and take a look at the engine. A credit score isn't just some random number they pull out of thin air. It's a formula. Think of it like a recipe, and this recipe has 5 main ingredients that we're about to break down.
Now, I really want you to lock in on this slide, because this is probably the most important piece of the puzzle. Just look at the percentages here. Not all these ingredients carry the same weight. See those two biggest slices of the pie? Payment history at 35% and credit utilization at 30%? Yeah, the others matter, but these two, these are the heavy hitters. They're the superstars of your score.
So, let's just do the math. A massive 65% of your entire score comes down to just two things. 1, do you pay your bills on time? And 2, do you keep your balances low compared to your limits? In fact, here's a pro tip. You always want to keep that credit utilization, that's just your balance divided by your limit, below 30%. If you're looking for the cheat code to a better score, this is it. Master these two things, and you've basically mastered the game.
Okay, so now we know the what. Let's get to the so what, right? Why does this number actually matter so much? In this next part, we're going to see exactly how this little trust metric has a direct line to the money in your wallet.
This table is the perfect example of something called risk-based pricing. It's a simple idea. The more of a risk they think you are, the more you're going to pay. Just compare Profile A with excellent credit to Profile C with poor credit. The mortgage rate? Higher. The credit card rate? Way higher. But look, just look at that auto loan. The interest rate is 3 times higher. That, right there, is the price tag on a low trust score. Now let's translate that crazy percentage into actual dollars and cents. Over the life of a pretty standard $25,000 car loan, that higher interest rate costs Profile C an extra $7,700. Just let that sink in for a second. That's not money paying for a nicer car. That's just extra cash you're handing over for the loan itself. It's the literal cost of having poor credit.
So I have to ask you, what could you do with an extra $7,700? I mean, that's a fully funded emergency fund right there. That's a trip you've been dreaming about. That's a serious head start on investing for your future. See, we're not talking about abstract numbers anymore. We're talking about real life.
But the cost of credit isn't just about getting loans. Think of your credit score like a stone you toss into a pond. It creates this ripple effect that touches all these surprising parts of your financial life, often in ways you'd never even expect.
So first ripple, just trying to rent a place to live. A landlord is almost always going to check your credit, and if they see a low score, they see risk. That could mean you get turned down for the apartment altogether, or it could mean you have to pay a much bigger security deposit just to get your hands on the keys.
The second ripple? Your insurance rates. Now this one usually surprises people, but studies have actually shown a link between how people handle their credit and how they drive. The data kind of suggests that if you're responsible with your money, you're also more likely to be a responsible driver. So, a lower credit score can lead directly to you paying more for car insurance.
And a third ripple, even your job prospects. For a lot of jobs, especially in fields like finance or government, a credit check is just part of the background check. The logic is that someone who's under a lot of financial stress could be a higher security risk. A poor credit history can literally slam career doors shut.
Okay, so we've seen the consequences, and I know that can feel a bit heavy. But now we get to the most important part of this whole lesson.
the good news, the great news, is that your credit score is not carved in stone. You are in the driver's seat. So let's get to our final section and build a roadmap for you to take back control.
Let's look at a real-world example. Let's say we have Jordan, who has a score of 540. So how do we fix this? It's simple. We go right back to that recipe. Step 1, we have to attack that massive 95% credit utilization. That's the second biggest piece of the pie, remember? Step 2, set up automatic bill payments to guarantee there are 0 late payments. That takes care of the number 1 factor. And step 3, just be patient. Let the accounts age and stop opening new stuff. It's a focused 3-step plan built on everything we just learned.
And finally, let's just quickly bust 2 very common myths that can really hurt you. Myth number 1, checking my own credit hurts my score. This is totally false. When you check your own score, it's called a soft inquiry, and it has zero effect. Myth number 2, I should carry a small balance on my credit card to build credit. Nope, also completely false. You build credit by using the card and paying it off. Paying interest does absolutely nothing to help your score. Just pay your balance in full every single month.
So, the big takeaway today is this. Your credit history, that financial fingerprint of yours, it's so much more than just a number. It is literally a key that can unlock or lock up your future financial freedom. It determines what you pay for things and what opportunities are even available to you in the first place.
So I'll leave you with one final homework assignment. Based on what we talked about today, what is the one single action you're going to take this week to start building a stronger financial foundation? Think about it and then go do it. Thanks for learning with me today.